not like really aficionado, kind of like, oh, I like these, so.
We're live.
Oh, we are live.
What's up, Anthony?
Live. What's up, my man?
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. I every time I see your videos and your podcast, I'm like, oh, this would be awesome, like chit chat about stuff, because it's funny, like being friends with people on Facebook and stuff. You realize like, oh wow, we have like the same interests. You know what I mean? Like, we like the cool, same stuff. But then you have the people that are like, don't have the same interests, and you're like, all right, I should delete you because all you do is talk about politics and all that. So it's hey,
I know that. Or they just ghosting, just like watching you.
Oh yeah. I remember one time. This was like in the beginning when I was DJing. I had a bunch of like club and bar promoters and stuff like that would add me, and I'm like, oh sweet, like I'll get my name out there, and like they'll see me, maybe they'll hire me. Never got any messages from them, nothing. And then they'd pull and keep it going. That happens, dude. I remember like I'd have like intimate conversations with my camera, and then next thing you know, like there was no volume, no.
That happens to me with the mic.
Yeah,
with these external mics.
Yep.
They suck because they are great.
No, yeah.
The audio is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the battery runs out and you record it, the camera's not going to tell you. The camera doesn't even care.
Right. Yeah. You have to. I know, like when I was searching cameras and stuff, there's like settings you could put where it like shows you the meter, but it's like, I don't know. I like to just have it kind of clear, see what I'm doing and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
But how long you been blogging now?
I started back in, I want to say September. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So there's like there's one DJ that I really like watching. His name's DJ Bar. He's a Spanish kid from Jersey, I think. Mm-hmm. And I just like everybody, just researching DJ equipment on YouTube. He had like open box videos and stuff like that, and he always had like all like the latest DJ equipment. So I was like, oh cool, so let me watch. Next thing you know, I'm clicking on his like suggested videos, and I'm clicking the next video, and then he started doing these things. Well, not started, but I started watching his gig logs. Mm-hmm. And basically he brought people behind the scenes of like what he does as a mobile DJ. So he goes to like weddings, set up speakers, set up lights. And I was like, this is really cool. Like, I'd love to do that. Like, because a lot of people don't realize what goes behind the scenes as a DJ. So, and then also I wanted to incorporate my whole stay-at-home dad experience, because I've had like, there'd be times I go to the park and it's just a bunch of stay-at-home moms or old ladies, and they're like, oh, you're a stay-at-home dad? Like, I've never heard of that. Like, yeah, that's different. And I'm like, it's different, but it is like a growing trend. There are a lot of more dads that are doing it. So I was like, why not vlog my experience? I feel like it'd be an interesting thing to watch. And some lady suggested I record it or log it, kind of. One old lady is like, you should write a book. And I'm like, I'm not writing a book. Like, I could barely write a letter. I could barely write a check. Never mind.
It's a great start.
Yeah.
With the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's super unique. I've never seen a dad, like a stay-home dad.
Yeah.
It's rare nowadays.
Especially like, especially it's funny because like with Latinos, it's like not heard of because the man always goes out, grinds out and works. So that's another thing that like is kind of been, I've always searched like for an outlet, like trying to talk to other stay-at-home dads, because kind of like mentally it's like, oh, like you're not the man going out, you know what I mean? So It's like I'm taking care of things on a different level. I'm home with my son and I'm taking care of him. While I'm still working, but I work on the weekends only, so my wife stays home, so it works out perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys have a great setup.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's clutch. We don't have to. It's like I don't have to pay to babysit and stuff like that.
That stuff is expensive.
It's When I was a personal trainer before doing the whole stay-at-home dad thing, and when I added up the daycare, it was like as much as I was making as a personal trainer.
So it wasn't even worth it then.
Yeah, it's like I'm just training people for daycare, It's like, so I was just like, I'll just leave this, because like my business was good as a personal trainer. I never wanted to be a millionaire from it. I didn't want to like do like the whole
celebrity.
Right. Yeah. That wasn't me. I just wanted to be, I honestly, like when I got into it, I just wanted to be a good coach and just have somebody that, I just wanted to be somebody that other people can kind of be like, oh, like I need help, I need advice, like what can I do to, but with that also the education for it was pretty expensive, so you gotta
the whole certification.
I got certified and everything, and I did other certs to kind of keep my cert going. So my cert actually expired. I just like let it go. I was just like,
if you're not doing it, man.
Exactly right. And it was like, part of me was like, you should renew it because you worked really hard to get it. It was a really hard test, and you studied like countless hours. But then part of me is like, I'm ready to let that go. It was cool. It was fun. You know.
I think that's important to know when to quit.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody says don't quit, just continue.
Yeah.
But I think even when I do all this stuff, this podcast, recording videos, I've done a bunch of other things first. And I quit those stuff.
Yep.
And then there's a new phase.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't work out, it's fine.
Exactly.
Just try something else.
Exactly. So, and that's the mentality I had with like vlogging as well. It's like, it's cool to hear the stories of like Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, all those guys, you know, making crazy money and it's funny because like, you know, I follow Casey Neistat a lot. I like his style a lot. And,
but that's him.
It's him, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't have that lifestyle. Like he lives in the middle of New York. Stuff is happening all the time, and it's like, and also it's funny to watch. Like when he posts like a video, within an hour he's got like 1 million views. And I'm like, whoa!
But he worked really hard to be where he's at.
100%.
When I said, "Oh, I wish I had 1/10 of their skills," and you were like, "Yes, practice." That's literally what it is.
It is, yeah. I catch myself doing that all the time. I always say like, "Man, I wish I had that skill," but I'm like, what am I doing to get to that skill? Like, I'm not really doing anything.
You're just sitting.
Kind of like, you know. So it's like the whole vlogging thing. It's like whatever. I'm just recording my experience and kind of talking about a few things. But then like when I see like DJs like doing these crazy technical tricks and stuff, and I'm just like, well, I'm not really taking the time. You know, it's like I'm busy, but I try to get like some practice in between, like when my son naps and stuff. So like to see them do like these crazy skills, I'm like, you're not really practicing to do it. If you want to do it, you can. You're just not really putting in the work, the hours to get there. So
because when I met you the first time, you took me to that, what was that, prom, I think?
Yeah. Yep. It was
prom, right?
Natick High prom.
Like a high school prom. And I saw you doing your thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were just flipping things and you were changing. Yep. But everything was in the flow. Like, you made it look so easy. And I was like, I don't understand anything you're doing. I'm just taking pictures. Yep. You're taking videos.
Yeah.
What I know what to do a little.
Exactly, yeah.
But you were like moving things and switching knobs.
Yeah.
If I start switching stuff here, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Like I just left it the way people told me to leave it.
Yeah.
I just did that.
No, yeah. It's, again, practice. You know, it took me so long to, you know, I've been doing it for, I think it was like professionally, like actually making money from it. I've been doing it for like 10 years. But before that, I think maybe like 2 years where like I just did it in my bedroom. So the honestly, the past 5 years has been when I've been like really on top of my stuff, like really good with it, reading crowds, stuff like that. And it just takes, I could teach you the technical skills like ASAP. Like I could legit teach you
the technical, like
like just some of like the being on beat, counting, and when to mix music in and out. I could teach you that within like a day or two. Like it's not that.
Building a school, like an online class.
No. It's funny because I had a teacher that was he was a shitty teacher, but this kind of reminds me of he was an English teacher, and I'll go back to why he was shitty, but English teacher, he had a art major and was like an amazing artist. He had like these crazy artworks he would show us and stuff like that. And we're all like, why don't you just teach art? Like, what the hell, boring ass English, like, which English is an art, you know, you read the poems and stuff like that. And it's poetry. It's cool, yeah. And he's like, I just don't have the patience to teach people how to draw and color. Like, you know, that's something that I love doing and passionate about. And I can't like sit there and see people like butcher it. Like, I just don't feel like, and I'm like, oh, I can see that side of things, you know, like I'm passionate about it to like, you know, I also play guitar. And that's something that like
electric,
both acoustic and electric. Ooh. Yeah. So, and I'm pretty good with it. Like I'm not like horrible, but I haven't practiced it in a while. Like, so it's like, I'm going to be a little rusty, but you know, I get friends that are like, why don't you teach me how to play guitar or teach me how to DJ, whatever. And I'm just like, like, I don't know if I have the patience to sit there and be like, all right, this.
But you can do like basic videos and then just keep watching those guys.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and I've been thinking about doing like tutorial videos too, just the basic kind of stuff that I know, because I feel like it's important too to share what you know. You know,
I watch like, everything on YouTube.
Yeah.
All this stuff, some of the stuff that I have here, the camera stuff, I learned from YouTube. Yeah. And the crazy thing I think is most of these YouTubers, they're not even experts. They just know a little bit more than me.
Exactly, right.
Or you. So now they put a video and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Right.
And then you try it and it works. So you're like, oh, he's a genius, and you follow him, and it goes. It's like a snowball effect.
Right.
Kind of thing.
It's like we see people like Casey Neistat or something. He has a video background. You know what I mean? He's done documentaries. He's done shows for HBO, and then it's like you want to look up the kind of average Joe Schmo that does it, so you could kind of compare. You're like, all right, well, I'm the average guy too, but I like, you know, obviously I don't have the much money that Casey Neistat has to buy 50 cameras and lenses.
He breaks so much shit.
Yeah, so it's like that's insane, you know. But then you got the average guy, you know. Like I think when I started, I was trying to find people that were vlogging with their phones. So I have the Galaxy S9, and I was like, let me search vlogging with Galaxy S9, and there was so many people that did it. And I was like, oh, it looks pretty solid quality. Like it's pretty cool. So a lot of my videos came from that in the beginning, and it was annoying trying to get like record something and then a phone call would come in or a text or whatever, and so it was just kind of like, and the battery would drain like crazy. I'd have to charge like 3 or 4 times a day. So I was like, let me invest in the camera and still have fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. These things are so good, man. Like,
you still surprised about the?
I'm still like shocked how good. Like
you're driving though, right?
Yeah.
So I made sure not to get the alcohol with.
Yeah. No. This is
So I went to the liquor store to get them.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Hennigan's." He's like, "You got a whole aisle of Hennigan's." I don't know. I was looking for the non-alcoholic ones. He's like, "Oh, all right. I need to go to the back for your ass." So I was like,
Jesus Christ! Dude, I hate when you like go to a store and you like ask the employee just go just a little bit above and beyond. Nothing crazy. You're not asking them to jump through a hoop of fire. Like you're just asking, can you just go back real quick? If you have it, great. If you don't, you could even lie to me and tell me you don't, and come back. You know what I mean? Like, but just give that little push, just a little bit. So, 69 calories. That's solid. This is great. If you guys are looking for a non-alcoholic beer and you don't want to do the O'Doul's, this Heineken, if you like Heinekens too, it has the same taste. I don't taste the difference. I don't know.
Heineken has to cut the check though.
Yes.
Sponsor.
100%.
No, you're right though with the like retail employees sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we all been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, I know you want to be the CEO of the company, but you need to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Learn the skills, be people skills. Like, I think it's the mentality of people. But
yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I used to be a assistant manager of a Best Buy Mobile, like just cell phone stores.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen.
I never understood those. As a business,
it was an interesting concept. It was it was funny because all the leaders that like launched those stores, it started off with only like a handful of stores, and it took off like pretty well. But they were all like, "We're gonna change the world. We're gonna change the way people buy cell phones," and I'm like. And I gave into it, I was like, I think I was 20 at the time. I used to work at Staples before that, and then I started off as like a kind of like part-time basic employee, like whatever at the Best Buy. And all the leaders like, we're gonna take over the world. We're gonna change how people buy cell phones, and we kind of did. Like we before Best Buy Mobile, they had like a lot of cell phone stores. They probably still do too, and not to bash anybody that makes commission, but. They had a lot of commission employees, and you'd have a lot of people that would sign these contracts and be like, oh, I didn't know I can't upgrade my phone until 2 years. Or they'll say like, oh, I didn't know this hidden fee was there. Like, so we were like very straightforward bias. Like, if you buy a phone from me, cool. If you don't, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm here to help you. Like, I have all these carriers to see which is going to be better for you. So
I see.
And we didn't get a commission, but we did get like a bonus structure if we sold like X amount of phones and X amount of like accessories, stuff like that. So. But I loved it. I was all about it. I was just like 100% all about, was going to get Best Buy tattooed on my chest. Like I was all about it. And I love technology too. Like I love cell phones. Like I think cell phones are freaking awesome.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I like the whole gadgets.
Oh, it's so cool.
I spend so much crap.
Yeah.
Like I want to get a drone and I want to get like the best one. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking about the rules here in Massachusetts, and it's like...
Yeah, I don't understand. I didn't know they had, like, rules on that kind of stuff. Like...
Yeah, because the airport is so close. I mean, especially if you live in Revere. Cambridge, Malden.
Can't really take it to, like, Revere Beach or something.
Yeah, you can't because the airport is there, and...
Wow.
You can't fly too high, and...
Yeah.
And depending on the size... I mean,
how do they track you for that stuff, though?
I think if just the cop stops you,
okay,
and he looks at the serial number, I think you have to get caught.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of YouTubers just.
Still doing it, yeah.
Doing illegal stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's legal," and then they get in trouble or whatever.
Peter McKinnon has a friggin' funny video about like guerrilla vlogging or something like that.
Oh, I haven't watched.
Oh my god, I'll like send it to you, whatever. But he talks about how like security people will come up to him and ask him for his SD card out of his camera. And what he does, he carries around like a fake, like empty SD card, and he does like kind of like, you know how like magic people always hide stuff in their hands. Mm-hmm. So like he'll tuck it between his fingers, hide it, and be like, "Oh, this SD." He'll be like, "All right, here you go," and like give him the decoy.
Why did they ask him?
It depends. Like some like locations is like government buildings, like, "Oh, you can't take photos here, you can't take videos," and like security guards will just be like, "Just give me your SD card," like, you know what I mean?
That can get expensive if you start giving.
Well, the thing is, it's like, you know, if you buy cheap 5 gigs, they're not going to know specifics. They just ask you for the card, and they think they have the material that has pictures on it and stuff. You know, they're not going to take it and look at it right away. You just be like, "All right, here you go. I'm out of here."
So he made a video about that.
He made a video about how he
he's in Canada, right? He's Canadian.
Yeah.
So he Canada, like Canadian cops going to be knocking at his door now.
Yeah. And then he had these other like tricks and stuff. Like, it's pretty interesting. I'll link it to you, and it's funny.
So you went from working Best Buy, and then you started DJing. How that whole thing started?
So DJing happened right. So when I was working at Best Buy, I was just kind of bored in the store, and I saw that Best Buy they used to have like musical instrument sections. So just like they have the cell phone section, mm-hmm. they had a section that sold guitars, drums, stuff like that.
I think I remember.
Yeah, the big Best Buy stores, so like the ones like in Everett, and like they used to have like a little section where they had like a few keyboards and maybe one guitar. Mm-hmm. But then Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Best Buy had a huge section, like huge. It was massive, and it had like guitars all over the wall, drums, had DJ equipment. So I'm like, oh, DJing, like I've always wanted to like get into that. Like music's been like a huge part of my life forever. So
was it part of your family?
Yeah. So like my uncles are musicians. My father's brothers, so my uncles on my mom's side, my uncles on my dad's side are all musicians. So they either play guitar, bass, drums, whatever. So that's how the music kind of got in, you know, with me. Like I started playing guitar when I was 10, but I was always playing with my dad's records and cassettes, CDs when I was like 5. You know, when I was old enough to understand to take the record, put it on, and put the needle on it, you know. So I was working at Best Buy, and I was like, and I was listening to like a lot of like electronic music back then, like a lot of like electronic house dance music. So I'm like, oh man, DJing would be cool. So I look up the SKU number of like this one piece of DJ equipment, like the cheapest one they had, and then got like a 50% discount on it. So I think my system, I paid like $200 for it, and it had like almost everything. It was like a really crappy version of everything, but it like did the job, you know, got me in the door to kind of learn it. And then from there, just a lot of practice in my bedroom, right before work, right after work. Sometimes my wife right now at the time was living with me, so when we were like just dating, she'd be sleeping, I'd have my headphones on, I'd still be like messing around. So and then from there just kind of like took off. Like I just really got into it. I was playing like a lot of like kind of crappy clubs in my area, not clubs, bars. So
you went from just practicing at your bedroom.
Yeah.
You used the same equipment at a venue, or you started buying like better equipment?
So yeah, I used the same equipment at like so there used to be this bar in Malden called Number 9 Ale House. It was like really grungy, just not a nice spot to hang out in. And with the bar owner was like, hey, my DJ's not feeling good, I need a DJ. And I was like, all right, cool, like I'll come in. And it was actually a friend of mine who reached out to me and was like, oh, he needs a DJ. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. So it was like right down the street for me. And I was amped. I was like pumped. I was like, oh, this is my time to shine, you know?
Yo, how did that feel? Like, you were nervous?
Man, I remember like telling all my friends, I was like, come down. And everyone's like, that's a shitty bar. Like, I don't know. I'm like, no, just go. It's going to be
like
good.
A dive bar kind of.
Yeah,
even worse.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe like.
Yeah, it was a shitty bar. Let's leave it at that.
It was a shitty bar, man. It was, you know, there was people like getting stabbed in front of it and stuff. It was bad. But they'd have music there every weekend, and it was like pretty busy. You know what I mean? It wasn't busy with like the best kind of people, but but it was busy. And so the bar is not there anymore. It's like a island food restaurant place right on Ferry Street. in Malden. But
you came with your equipment.
I came with my laptop and my like cheap controller, and it worked. It was fine. The sound system was garbage. Like, for one, the speakers were just not good. They were just like horrible speakers. And then my like system that I had just didn't really have enough juice to kind of, sound good. So, but it was fine, and people danced. So I was like, oh, cool. So I got like an ultimate high from it, and I still get a high from it. Like, I still love like that idea of like seeing people dancing, almost like, there's a lot of people that are like power hungry and like, like the idea of having control and stuff. And I guess in a sense, I'm kind of like that. But like not in like regular life, like just when I'm DJing and I can see people dance, I'm like, yes, like I got them, like this is awesome, like. And then at the end of the event, it's like, all right, back to regular life. Like I don't really care about power, or you know what I mean. It's weird. It's interesting.
Yeah, I can't relate, but
yeah,
I'm trying to, put myself in your shoes.
Yeah,
but I can see it like as an entertainment, like you're an entertainer.
Exactly.
Somehow, or it's
like I don't know. It's I guess it's like anything that, like, if you're making somebody else feel good and you're making somebody laugh, they're like, all right, I'm doing something right. Like, this feels good. Like, this is cool. We're having a conversation. We're laughing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like DJing's kind of similar. It's like, all right, I'm communicating with the music. I see they're a little drunk, so maybe I could throw some crazy sing-along. And they start singing along. I'm like, oh, snap, that worked. Cool. There's times where it doesn't work, and I'm just like, oh, all right, what do I do? So,
from there...
Yeah.
You went and you got hooked?
Yeah, from there. So I didn't get any like other crazy gigs from that one. I just, whenever the DJ was sick, I would fill in at that bar.
Wait, you didn't hit it to the fame?
No, not right. No, of course not. I thought it was. I thought it was going to be in like the newspaper and like, I thought it was going to be like, on MTV and all that.
Yeah.
No, it took a little while. Just constant practice in my bedroom. And it was just such a passionate thing that practice wasn't like, oh, I gotta go practice, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, this is awesome, like, oh, this sounds cool. And then where I really had a breakthrough was my brother-in-law has a really good friend who needed a DJ, and then from there, like, I still DJ for him and with him and stuff like that. So his name's Mark Dixon, and he really took me under his wing. When I first met him, it was like nerve-wracking because like I've never DJ'd a wedding, never DJ'd a bar mitzvah, never DJ'd anything, just proms, a bar. Yeah. So like now it's like a mixture, like doing proms, weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate events. So from that point, I kind of just the first time I went to an event, I saw Mark Dixon do his thing, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And they had this big setup, like truss everywhere, lights, everything. I was like, this is really cool. And then he's like, what I'll have you do is I'll have you come meet me at an event. I'll have a backup DJ to kind of help you. You know what I mean? But he's like, let me hear what you have and then what you can do, and then we'll work from there. I'm like, all right, cool. So I like when I was mixing music and stuff, like when I first started, I knew how to get on beat. I knew how to stay in rhythm, but I didn't understand the concept of like programming and when to mix in music. So a little bit of like technical stuff. I just learned over time, and programming is like finding the right song at the right time. You know what I mean? It's like if you walked into like a baby shower or something, and you hear Mo Bamba, like first thing as you walk in the door, like right when the party starts. You know what I mean? People just chit chatting, shooting shit, eating food, whatever, and all you hear is go, and you're like, what the hell, like. That's awful programming. But if you throw that in later at the end of the night when people are drunk, they're like, oh, and then they take the shirt off, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a movie, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it has to play with your feelings.
Exactly.
So, a movie starts with the opening scene, and then has a middle, then a climax, and then a descent, and then I feel like when I go to a club, I feel like, okay, the DJ is like feeling the crowd,
Yep.
And then he's like, okay, he's amping everybody up.
Yeah.
And then he just closes the end.
Yeah, and that's we got
it's like
it right.
A vibe,
100%. Yeah, and I didn't really understand that until because when I was at the club and bars. So you're 100% right on that. But you could play like anything at the bar and club. You know what I mean? People are there to party. They'll hear whatever. But when you're doing like a wedding, a quinceañera, whatever, like any type of party, people are just walking in and they're just kind of like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too crazy.
Yeah, so reggaeton.
Right,
straight from the...
and it's like... So it's one of those things where you kind of, you know, over time I just like learned it. So when he took me to do a bar mitzvah, I've never seen a bar mitzvah in my life, never been to one.
Me neither.
And then so it's like doing this event, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like these Jews are going nuts. Like, you know, it's like they're dancing. They got the horror going where they got the chair up in the air.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember the first time he just threw me in the show. Just threw me. He's like, all right, you're DJ. Here you go. This is what you're doing. And then he had another DJ come to our event for like the last hour to really crush it, like really like do stuff I couldn't do. And it was funny because I thought, like, in my mind, I was like, all right, I'm going to DJ for this company. I'm just going to show up, set up my laptop, and, you know, whatever. But I had to get there early, set up the speakers, set up the lighting, set up this.
Oh, so you thought you was going to just go in the podium.
Go in, have fun. Right, yeah, you know. But it was funny. More to it, yeah.
That's good to know, though, because I didn't know.
Yeah. So companies do a lot of different things. This situation was, you know, you show up early, and you got compensated for it. So it's like, show up early, you load up the truck, you know, get to the office, load up whatever it is, you know. A lot of these people, they'll do like furniture, they'll do like light up dance floors, they'll do like
disco balls,
they'll do the company I work for, PRNG Entertainment, they have like everything. The guy has like LED bars, like where you can like serve alcohol from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And
I've seen those.
Yeah. So he has all these like cool stuff, and it's really, really cool. And I just didn't know I had to be part of like the setup crew and stuff like that. So it was like a shock at first. And now I'm just kind of like, it got to a point where I got numb to it. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. Like these people are going way too crazy with like stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's way too much for a party. And then like, I'm kind of like fatigued by the time it comes for me to DJ. But then the music gets me going, so I'm fine. But then once the music's done and like the party's over, then it's like, all right, now we got to break everything down, bring it back to the office.
I don't know how you guys do that, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy drinks and a lot of sleep the next day.
Because I know that all that work because you put a video, like a time lapse.
Yeah.
And I was watching, I was like, God, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like all these venues have a little spot and they don't touch it. Just leave it how it is. And then people just plug their whatever.
Yeah.
The turntables and then, okay, start DJing.
No.
I saw you guys put in floors.
Yeah.
Putting all the lights.
Yep.
Putting like mats and like, what do you call those? Like some sheets to cover the cables.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, God, that's a lot of work.
It's, and it like, there's pros and cons. It's not every event that's going to be that crazy that we have to set up so much stuff. For example, like weddings, like they just need a sound system, maybe some like little like dance floor lighting. But yeah, weddings are like easy. I think we
the camera, stops.
That's all right. So like weddings is like very minimal equipment, you know what I mean? The bar mitzvahs, they like the light up dance floors, they like the white furniture, they like the, you know, lighting all around the room and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely.
I'll crack another one open.
So yeah, typically bar mitzvahs are just insane. People, it's almost like kind of like a contest where like who can like go the bigger, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. The family wants to compete with another family. Yeah. I think quinceañeras is the same thing.
Quinceañeras can be, yeah. The thing is, it's like the quinceañeras,
but they have more money though.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the quinceañeras I've done have been a little bit more, I guess, like on the budget side of things, which is fine. Like I personally like,
it should be like that though.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think from a business standpoint, obviously you want to make the most money, you want to sell the most stuff. But I'm like, I don't know if it's like just me, but I'm not like too money hungry. Like I've had people like, oh, you could make more money doing this, you could do this, you could do that, but I'm like, I just want to be happy. Like
I just want to like it, exactly. Fun.
I want to like be happy with what I do. Cheers, man. Thank you. This is definitely hitting that craving for beer. This is great.
Yeah, when you put that post, I was like, I know what he needs.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm not like too money hungry. So it's like, obviously, like I get stressed out because we got to pay bills. You gotta, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that. But at the end of the day, if I have enough money where I can pay bills and be happy, maybe grab a cheesesteak every now and then,
right.
I'm golden, you know.
Yeah, I think people are focused on too much material stuff. You see somebody having the Benz or the BMW, or they have Rolex, or they pretend to have like a big house, and they have this perfect family, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I want to have that. But then you see them, they're doing like a job they don't like.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're like deep in debt, and that's not the way to live neither.
It's not, man. And like I kind of, that's so... So we'll go back a little bit to the DJing thing. So when I left Best Buy, I was like, I need a job that's going to let me work weekends. Best Buy, you have to work the weekends. That's when everybody's coming in, you know what I mean, buying stuff. So that's when I got a job at the bank, and only had to work Monday through Friday and then some Saturday mornings, which was cool, was great. And I was making awesome money at the time. It was like, you know, kind of like incentive based and stuff like that. So salary and incentive, I was like, this is awesome. Like, and over time, it just wore down on me so much, like sitting at a desk. And not only that, but I kind of realized that I wasn't really being appreciated for what I did. And that's when I really was like, yo, I'm out of here. Like, this is bad. So I think it was personal banker for like 2.5 years or something like that. And what really got me going was I asked for like vacation time, and I was like more than eligible for it. But because one of the tellers, which has nothing to do with my job responsibilities, was going on vacation that time, I couldn't get it off. And I was like, we have 2 different job roles. Like, how does that make sense? Like, oh, well, if the teller line gets busy, like, you need to jump into... I'm like, I'm not even teller certified, like, trained or whatever. Right. Like, how, like... So I made a huge hissy fit about it, and they tried to, like, manage me out, which they kind of did, honestly. Like, they were like, all right, we're going to put you at this branch today. All right, you're going to go to a different branch today. And I'm
so they're probably kicking you, like, telling you...
Pretty much. Like, not... Like, they were just trying to get me aggravated to the point where I had to...
You quit on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I quit on my own. Yeah, I didn't get fired or anything like that, but they were definitely making it so that I would want to quit. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I think a lot of companies do that with older employees.
Oh, yeah.
They want to retire.
They knew I wasn't just going to give up that easily, so they were just, like, really trying to find... They were sending me to, like, the branch in Gloucester. They were sending me to, like... they sent me to, like, East Boston a few times. Just a bunch of different branches everywhere.
Was this like a public company?
Santander.
So yeah, it's a public.
Yeah.
They have a stock. Yeah, that's the problem with those. I don't work for stock companies anymore.
Yeah.
They're in the public.
Okay.
So people can buy stocks.
Yeah.
Because they are so driven to...
They got to please everybody in the public.
Yeah. I'm done with those kind of companies. So I only work for like privately owned.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's more chill.
Yeah. No, I can imagine.
Because they're like, they pay you more. Yeah, because they appreciate your work.
Right. And they know, you know, if they appreciate you, you're gonna put in the work to help out and stuff. So
yeah, it's harder for them to train you.
Yeah.
So they look for people with a lot of experience already.
Ah, right. Okay.
So if you have experience and they hire you,
yeah,
they're like, oh wow, it's golden. Everybody wins. So then,
I never thought of that, like having like a company that's like public and then private or whatever. You know,
private,
like,
for me, my experience, private is the best.
Yeah. Did you work for like a public place before too? Like, okay.
So when I straight out of college, I got a public because they're the ones hiring.
Right.
They're the ones training you and paying you the lowest salaries because you straight out of college.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good starting point, but it's not a place to retire at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like start there and then start looking.
Right.
Do internships.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like I work for free a lot.
Yeah.
Like I did accounting.
Mm-hmm.
I did people's taxes for free.
Oh wow!
Like other like businesses, you know, and I just did it.
Wow!
Just to get experience.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, a company that is not going to count that as my experience.
Yep.
But I feel confidence that I can do the work.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's it's funny because like it's kind of the same thing with like DJing. You know what I mean? People will ask like, "Oh, can you do this event for free? Like it's a charity event or whatever. It's gonna be 1 million people there, or whatever." And it's one of those things where you got to kind of like pick and choose. You know, after like when I was like younger, I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like there'll be a bunch of people see me. Like that's awesome. And after doing it for a while, I was like, "Oh, I didn't get any business from those, so like I'm not gonna do it anymore." Like because I mean, it's work between like getting your car, you know, get it filled up with gas, go to the place, set up speakers. You're there for 4 or 5 hours, and then you gotta break down the speakers, drive back to your house, whatever. If you have like a storage unit, you gotta pay for storage. There's a lot of like overhead, depending on your situation. But I try to, if I do charity events, it's like really tough for me to like say yes, I'll do it for free. They have to at least compensate me for like gas or something.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that are like, oh no, like we don't have a budget at all for a DJ. I'm like, I'm sorry, like I can't. No, you gotta walk away. But
but you're in the spot that you're a pro already.
You're right, exactly.
Like you're not an amateur,
right?
Like, if you're like beginning, and you have that kind of ego already, you're gonna fail because because you're sharpening your knife. Exactly. That's the whole point. Like you're so dull, you're not cutting anything.
Exactly.
So you need to like learn it. Like,
right.
It's like if you have to work for free, just work for free.
Exactly. So like, that's what I've told like a lot of kind of like beginner DJs that I've met. They come in with like these egos, and I'm like, yo, like put that aside.
You're not a DJ Khaled.
Right. Exactly. So I try my best to like, there's times where like I'll like crush a party, like do phenomenal. I'll have like a lot of people come up to me like, that was amazing, that was great, that was so much fun. So my ego is like, boom. Right. And I'm just like, all right, time to like take a break, relax, like simmer down. Like you're not the greatest. Like, try to check myself. Cause I know like what like a really high ego can do and the damages that it does, so got to check it every now and then.
It ruins businesses.
Right. Oh yeah. 100%.
Because then you don't want to take a small gig because,
exactly.
You're still thinking of that high you had in your last big gig. And then,
Yeah.
It's snowball again.
And I've seen a lot of DJs go down because of it too. So it's like,
just keep practicing.
Right. Like exactly. Said, exactly. So yeah, the whole DJ journey has been, it's been crazy, man. And I'm going through some changes now with it. And, it's been, it's one of those things that are like, it's like nerve wracking. You know what I mean? It's like, I kind of want to do my own thing, but at the same time, it's like, I like being booked with like a company because it's like guaranteed a booking or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
so all your gigs, you get it through a company.
A lot of them, yeah. So when I do like bar club gigs, that's all like on my own stuff, like and then I'll have occasionally like a wedding or two that my friends will want me to do, or like friends of a friend will say like, oh, I need a DJ, and I'm like, all right, great, we'll put it aside or whatever. We'll see what days I have event, open. Mm-hmm. So I let the company kind of deal with like the rest of the bookings and all that stuff, and just because it's like they have the marketing material and this and that, and just makes it a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah, the office and the administrative part.
Yeah, and they have the storage unit and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so it's just one of those things where I'm kind of like, all right, well, you don't know till you try it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to give it a shot. So it's kind of like, there's a lot of like moving parts right now going on with like my DJing and kind of what I want to do within the next 5 years. Because right now I'm thinking more when my son Leo will probably be in school by when he's 5 or something. You know what I mean? I think that's
how old is he?
Right now he's only 1. So I got like another 4 years or so. But I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, maybe still do the DJing thing, but I kind of want to pick like a trade or something to learn. You know what I mean? Because right now, like, I've been reading a lot and just like, well, what can I do to like study and maybe get into like electrician or something like that. That way it's like still making like a good income during the week, because I don't want to be a stay-at-home dad when they're in school. You know what I mean? Right. Like I like staying busy. Right? Yeah. I like staying busy, and like having the kids obviously is busy, but I'm just like I don't know.
Do you like working with your hands?
For the most part, yeah. So like I was trying to do the school thing for a while. First I went to like business for a little bit. I just went to it was called Gibbs at the time in Boston.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, this is kind of, I don't know. It was like kind of easy, but I wasn't really engaged with it. So I was like, I've always wanted to do like some type of like engineering, building stuff. So I went to Ben Franklin for mechanical engineering, and that was like super hard. Like the math classes were like insane. And I remember sitting down with like my advisor, and they're like, you're like a bunch of math classes like behind from like everybody. Like you need to like catch up or. So that's when I was just like, I don't know if the school. I always thought like, the school thing's not for me. Maybe not. Maybe I just can't do it or whatever. But it's just like me being young and stupid and just not really giving 100%. I guess you know what I mean. It's like I look back now and I'm like, I could definitely do the school thing now. Now I'm more mature and I can like sit there, read something, and like really figure it out.
You know what you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what one of the mistakes. I don't want to call it a mistake, but I think I would just wish when I graduated high school, I took like a year off.
Yeah.
Just like work a shitty job and just like understand how hard it is to like work without a degree.
Exactly.
Or maybe find what I really liked to do. Yeah. Because I went to school straight out of high school.
Okay. Just like everybody else.
I went to a math major.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a statistician.
Wow.
And then I was like in my third year as a statistician, and I'd be like, "There's no actually work for this."
Yeah.
I was having a hard time finding internships, and then I switched to accounting.
Okay.
Because it was like it's numbers.
Yeah.
But the math is like 1,000% easier in accounting compared to a statistician. Right. My professors and the dean was upset with me that I was moving to something else. But at the end of the day, I got a job.
Right.
And then I felt stuck because I was like, do I want to keep doing this? Or maybe...
The thing with getting stuck, man, is one of those things where, like, you're not a tree that has to wait to grow. You know what I mean? The trees have to wait every so often to, every 6 months or whatever to grow and then die and then grow again. You know what I mean? It's like you can constantly change whenever you want. You can just be like, after this, like, let me just switch it to something else. Right. It'll take time. You'd have to take a step back, but at the end of the day, if you really want to do something different, that's just how I feel about things.
But it's super hard to change your mind when you have like $30,000 in debt, student loans. Yeah. So you might not like it, but you have to do it for the next 6 years to pay those.
No, that's true too. Yeah, that's like my student debt's not that. Like I don't even know where it is right now, but I've been paying it off. My wife, however, she she went to school for radiology, and she's like crazy. She went to Mass College of Pharmacy, so it's like it's up there. It's chopping down, but it almost feels like it like never does. You know what I mean? It's like you keep paying. You're like, what the
it's like a mortgage.
Yeah, 100% a mortgage, dude. Like that's another tough thing. Like we're looking at houses, and it's like it's almost like we can't get a mortgage because we're already paying a mortgage. So it's like
it gets hard.
Yeah. So it's a little depressing. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you're always like thinking like, oh, like my friends have houses or this and that and this and that. You're like trying not to compare yourselves. But
that's a big thing. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You have your own path. You do
exactly.
Your own.
But we're comfortable where we are. We're happy. We kind of sit there and we're like, listen, like things are great. Like we have this tiny apartment, but like Leo is like laughing his ass off, running around, playing with his toys, like. And I had a lady. I used to work at Get in Shape for Women. I used to train there, like a bunch of like older women. And I was talking to one of them how stressed out I am about buying a house and stuff, and how like I really want to like make it work for the family. And she's like, you know what? All you need is is to love your kid. That's it. Like that's all you need to do is love each other and love your son. Like, and you don't need anything else. She's like, the house is nice and it gives you a little bit more peace, but like at the end of the day, it's like. If you don't have the love and if you don't have the happiness already, it's like, what other material things are you gonna buy to make you happy? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I remember like when I was younger, I'd always have these like shitbox cars. Like my dad would like, and I'm like grateful, but my dad would like buy them for me, and like things would go wrong. I'm like, oh, I just want to buy a new car already. Like what? Now I have a new car. I'm like, I hate this thing. Like I don't hate it, but like, X amount of dollars comes out every month, and it's like, man, like for what?
It's a luxury.
Like, yeah, and. Me and the wife, we were doing fine with just one car, but then it kind of got to a point where like we need a second car, and I'm just like, oh man, like I don't know, and I kind of like jumped right in, like went right into a car, and I was just like, I wish I did a little more homework, but it's fine.
But sometimes buying the house is not the greatest investment.
Yeah, I'm like, a lot of people are like saying like, oh, you want to buy like a 3-family or whatever, get an investment property so people can pay rent, whatever, the mortgage.
But it's not
I'm like, that doesn't exist. Like, you're, like back then when you're paying like $200,000 for a 3-family, that makes sense. But now it's like crazy,
After 2008, with the whole housing market crash, people were just getting loans. Like, I think whoever bought houses and kept them after 2008, they got good deals, because to get a loan now for a house, you need like 6 months of mortgage payments.
That's wild.
Like in advance.
Yeah.
You need to put 20 grand down.
Yeah.
Depending if it's less than 200,000.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay the lawyers, you have to pay the real estate, you have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And all this.
It's crazy, man. Me and my wife, we did the whole like first time homebuyers class, whatever. It was more scary than anything. Like, I thought it was supposed to be like encouraging, and like you're supposed to meet like a mortgage realtor and a broker, whatever. But they were like, oh, they started talking about like laws and this and that, and like what it takes to like get like the loan. I'm just like, that's a lot of work. Like, that's a lot of. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about this whole buying a house thing. But now it's like we figured it out. Like, we have a baby coming in July, and then we have my son Leo. So
baby girl.
Yeah. So it's we have technically our apartment's a 1-bedroom apartment. But it's like our living room. Was the dining room before the baby, and then our kitchen, and then our bedroom in the back. So now we've converted. The dining room was the baby's room, and then we had the room in the back. Now our bedroom is in the middle, like where the dining room is, or was, and then now the 2 babies are going to sleep in the back room because it's like the warmest.
It's quiet.
It's quieter, yeah. So I mean, we made it work. You know what I mean? It's like it's a small apartment. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing's breaking. Nothing's leaking. And it's funny because the lady that rented it to us was saying how she raised 4 kids in that little apartment. I was like, what? That's insane. So it's like,
you guys gonna be fine then.
Yeah. We have it all planned out, and we'll be fine for a while. And we're like, I don't want to say how much we're paying for it, but it's stupid cheap, like crazy cheap.
Yeah, see,
like cheaper than being a roommate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense to buy a house if you're renting and you're comfortable. If you're able to save a little bit of money and you can build your credit. I mean, there's no rush on buying a house. Right.
So like, it was funny because December I was like really close to paying off all my credit card debt, and I was like, I want to pay this all off before 2019. And then January I paid off like 2 of my cards, like had like crazy balances on them, paid them all off, and I got one that like I have like a very small balance on that I'll probably pay it off next few weeks or so. And it's like, great, no more credit card debt. That's it. Like, I don't want to use them anymore. And it's funny because I think one of the first videos I saw, you were talking about getting rid of credit card debt.
Yeah, this is the first thing. I always recommend that.
And it makes sense because now it's like, all right, so now I don't have to pay the monthly fee.
You're free now.
Exactly.
You're financially free after that.
Yeah. So, it's just the whole financial planning thing. It's like, it was never like my thing because like I always got like emotionally attached to like material stuff.
Yep.
So like, there was a time where I was buying DJ equipment that I didn't need, but I was like, oh, it's like new gadget. It's cool. Like, I can't wait. And then I get it. I'm like, I'd end up selling it. You know what I mean? And you don't get like that money back.
You don't get your money.
Yeah, right.
That's what I do. All these camera stuff.
Yeah.
I want to buy the latest one. I want to get 4K. I want to get the best mics.
Yeah.
Get best cameras.
Yep.
But what I do, I just rent it.
Yeah.
Try it out. Get that like
feel for it.
Like just flush that feeling.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is a piece of shit. Right. Like, what the hell am I gonna spend like 5 G's?
Yeah.
And then it's like there's different ways of like just fulfilling your craving on gadgets and stuff. Because I'm a big gadget guy. I like all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Like, and I'm glad like I talked to you about like cameras and stuff because you brought up the whole borrow lens and stuff, and I was like, that's awesome. Like when I went there, super helpful, and tested out like so many different cameras. And I tested out like an older model of this one, like I think it was like the Canon M3 or something. And then I tried, and I looked up the Canon M5 that had a flip down screen. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah, that's like the stupidest thing that Canon ever did. And then I saw this one, and I compared the M6 to the M50. And the difference,
M50 is amazing.
It's a dope camera, and the huge difference that I saw between this and that one was the 4K. But the only thing that stinks about the 4K is that it doesn't have the autofocus.
Yeah, and it crops.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to like put it a mile away.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the 4K crops, and then it had like the side screen, which is really cool. So I was really close to buying it, but then when I got this M6 refurbished for like $400, and I think the M50 at the time was like, I think it was like 800 or something like that, or 750.
Yeah,
and I was like,
expensive.
I was like, you know, for that $400 difference just for the 4K,
not worth it.
Not worth it. You know what I mean?
And those especially huge files too, with 4K.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, just did a lot of research on like 4K and stuff, and I was like, I don't need it. So I just went the refurbished M6, and I love it. So it's a great camera. It's awesome. I like it.
What kind of mic you got? You got the external mic?
Yeah. So I bought the Movo mic.
I'm thinking of getting that one.
Yeah, it was like $40 on Amazon, and there was I saw a video of a comparison with the Rode mic and the Movo mic. They were like the similar size, whatever. They're like almost identical, and but the Movo seemed louder, like when they did like the voice test or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that's like really, it's like a big difference, like the sound. So
like
I was
improve difference.
Yeah, and the Rode was like 60, and the Movo was 40. So I was like, I mean, I know it's only $20 difference,
but that's a no-brainer.
But like, yeah, let me just go with the Movo. You know, why am I gonna get the Rode? Because every vlogger, every YouTuber has it.
Yeah,
like,
I have it too.
Yeah, and it's great. Like, it works great. But like when I was comparing it, I'm like, you know, I don't want to dish out so much money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like to just kind of. And then I bought like a cheaper mic too that I was testing out, and it didn't work out as good as I wanted to. But I
got cheap stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. They all suck.
Yeah. So like I bought this like little mic. It was like, I think it was like $25, and I had to buy the adapter. It was like $5, so it was like a lot smaller setup than this is. Mm-hmm. And it sounded okay, but I was just like, this is way better. So I put this.
I like
on,
that
and
one.
Yeah, it's sweet. It works great. So,
how wide does it get? You know,
what is it?
How wide? 24 mil.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
We check later.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the lens says 11 millimeters to.
Okay, that's good.
11 millimeters to. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is not 11. This is 15 to 45.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's solid. Like I wanted to. You know, I've been comparing lenses. I bought like the low aperture one. It was like a f2 or something like that, so I can.
That's good.
Record my like nighttime events. But it's a 20. It's a what's it, like a prime lens? Like it doesn't zoom in or out.
I love prime.
Yeah,
prime is
cool.
my favorite.
Yeah. It's really cool.
So you can change.
Oh yeah.
Lenses on this one?
Yeah, you could change the lenses.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so like I was looking at the 11 to 22 millimeter lens, but I was like, this is pretty solid. Like it gets enough, you know, wide angle, and I can zoom in and out, you know, to 45 millimeters if I need to. And then I got the other lens because it had a lower or bigger aperture, whatever you want to call it, f2.
Yeah.
So like it looks my like, you know, advent.
It takes more light.
Dark, right? Yeah. It takes in more light, so. And it looks dope with a blurred background and stuff. So, so I got that, and I was like, "This is sweet." And then the Joby, obviously, I saw everybody on YouTube having it, and I like the way it bends. I bought a different one that bend, but it wasn't like a ball and socket kind of idea like these. It was just like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a rubbery.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, it was like UFO 0.2 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think they're cheaper than this one.
Yeah,
the Joby.
Yeah, they're like
Gorilla, whatever.
And to be 100% honest, I mostly got this Joby one because like Black Friday was running a deal. It was like $30 for it, so I was like, sweet.
I might grab another one.
Yeah, they're sweet, man. I like them. I'm really into that switch pod though. Definitely want to.
Yeah, Pat Flynn.
Yeah,
doing your thing.
Shout out to Pat. You're the real MVP.
Yeah, he always does. Like, he knows what the market needs, and he builds it.
That's great.
Yeah, like that's the mentality entrepreneurs supposed to have.
Yep.
But everybody has so much ego and like, I'm gonna make this. People gonna like this. Like, dude, you need to look at the market and what they need.
Yeah.
Build it and then throw it in the market. Like, it's like not that hard.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I do with my videos.
Yeah.
Like, I think of what I want to see, what's missing, and then I just make it for me.
Okay. Yeah.
And then whoever likes it's like, oh, that's a plus.
Yeah. That's pretty solid. When you started doing the whole YouTube thing, were you like, did you have the mentality that you wanted to like make it like a big kind of platform, or
no? My whole thing was like, I had all this information in my head. I wanted to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I had a blog. I have like a website.
Okay.
www.Simplechew.com.
Okay, sweet.
So I was writing all my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was like, man, it's taking way too long. Let me just grab a camera and say it.
Yeah.
And then I did that. I had like a shitty camera. Okay. I don't know if you see my first videos. They're like yellow. Yeah. I didn't know color correction.
Yeah, okay.
My background was shit. I mean,
yeah.
But I just wanted to like express what I knew.
Yeah.
And I didn't care if whoever watched it. It was just for me.
Yeah. No, that's great. Same thing like with me, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted to share, like, showcase what I do as a DJ, but also like as a stay-at-home dad, because it's like for a lot of people it's still new, and it's like, you know, there's like such a stigma about stay-at-home dads, like, oh, you're a bitch or whatever. It's like, no, dude, like,
no, you have to do the cooking and the laundry.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I don't mind doing cooking. I hate doing laundry. Laundry sucks. I still haven't got used to that, but dishes I got used to doing. That's fine. But it's all like, you know, my wife works really hard, and you know, as a man, like, you should be able to take care of your wife too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it makes sense.
Yeah. So, just vlogging those kind of experiences, and it's funny to see a little.
Your cooking videos are amazing.
Yeah, I suck at cooking, but like I try to do different things, and it's funny because like usually when I make like grilled chicken, I just put adobo and sazon on it. And my wife is just kind of like, in a nice way, she was like, you know what, kind of tired of this chicken. Like, can we like switch it up, whatever? And I'm like, all right, well, steak is like crazy expensive. Like, steak is so much. Like, when my dad used to tell me steak was expensive when I was younger, I didn't like believe him. I was like, no, like it's just food. Like, now I'm like, yo, that's expensive
compared to chicken and pork.
Exactly.
Pork is ridiculous cheap.
We don't buy a lot of pork, but I like pork. We eat it no problem. I just never thought of buying. I don't know.
Yeah, pork is cheap.
Yeah, so might have to look at that.
I try to stay away from it.
We do a lot of chicken and ground turkey. We don't do ground beef as much. We don't do a lot of beef stuff. Honestly, like, we eat a lot of chicken and ground turkey, but we, you know, switch up the flavors. We do chicken wings every now and then. No, so like my wife doesn't really like fish. I like fish. I just don't really know how to cook it. Like, I know how to make like a salmon with like lemon juice, salt and pepper. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tastes good, but chicken, like, I do a bunch of like pulled chicken, like different stuff, grilled chicken. I don't know, just try to do different things with it. So, but yeah, it's starting to get a little. I didn't know where she's come from. I'm like, all right, yeah, you're right. It's getting a little. If I'm
using the same seasoning. Bodybuilder.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because like a lot of like my family are like, why do you only have like healthy stuff at home? I'm like, well, no, I mean, it's not really healthy. Like, if I'm like dumping a bunch of oil and dressings and stuff, like, you know what I mean, a bunch of like barbecue sauce, salt,
all that sugar.
You know, like sugar and stuff, like salt's fine, whatever, but like, you know, that sodium will retain water, and it's like our issue is like we like to go eat out a lot too, and there's times where like I'm just so exhausted with my son that I'm just like, I don't feel like cooking, so we'll order a pizza or something. So it's
I see.
But for the most part, when we buy meats, it's mostly chicken, ground turkey. You know.
You ever think of buying a cookbook and trying that? That would be cool.
Yeah,
if you did something like that.
Yeah, so I like
a video of you.
So the recent like kind of like video, the vlog I did with where I was like trying to make like a plantain based food.
That was so funny.
Yo,
you're like, I'm gonna put this in the oven.
Yeah.
And you set it up, and I was like, this is gonna look good. Yeah. I'm like waiting and anticipating, and then you pull it out. Oh, you didn't even put the camera in. I was like, I want to see what's going on in there, and then like frozen.
Yeah.
I was dying.
It was so bad, dude. It was like, damn. All right. So, but yeah, no, I got that idea from this is another YouTube I like to watch. I think she's a Japanese girl, Emmy something. I think Emmy Made in Japan or something like that. And she like has these like crazy videos of her trying like tarantula jerky and like weird stuff. Like, yeah,
I'm all set.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to make a video of me trying these weird things. But I was like, let me just cook stuff and try it, you know, whatever. So
you did that hot sauce one.
Oh man, have you seen Hot Ones?
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like that show.
I love that show. Like, I think it's such a cool concept of like, let's fire up people and like ask them all these questions and like get their reactions. I wouldn't be able to do that, man. Like, I'm pretty good with hot sauce, man.
I'm not,
and that's funny. I'm pretty good with hot sauce, and the one I have, it's called Chelsea Fire, and it's so damn good. It's high up there. Like, when I emailed them, they're like, oh, it's like 400,000 Scoville. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, well, what's the difference between 400,000 and 550, thousand, whatever. So I bought the hot sauce that had the 550, and I went too crazy. I did too much, dude. I put it all over my taco. I took a huge bite. My wife just did it.
Dude, you put like a quarter.
Yeah, it was bad. And then so it was crazy because like when people say their stomach cramps up from hot stuff, I didn't think it was legit. I think they were just like mental, whatever. But my stomach was cramping up the whole night. Like I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even eat food after, and like it sucks because I was so hungry.
You had like milk in the video.
I had.
You look like a mess, man.
It was bad, dude. It was like there was like the faucet.
Oh yeah, you put the
faucet hose.
Yeah.
I was like,
that made it worse though.
Yeah,
water.
I realized that.
I think yogurt you need, or
yogurt worked really good. We had yogurt. Milk was okay. Water. The thing with like water, especially if it's cold water, it opens up the pores. I guess because that's what I felt instantly. Like the pores of my tongue, like kind of like open, like the taste buds, and like more hot sauce went in. Like it made more hot.
Oh,
you know, like when you like have like a mint,
like salmon. Like yeah.
After drinking like cold water, you have a mint, and it's like, ooh, that's a lot of mint.
Yeah. I hate that.
Now think of that with hot sauce. It's like
Hell no, I'm all set.
It was so bad. So like that hit like the back of my throat. It like was like rumbling over here. I was just like, I'm done with this. This.
Can you mess your insides with the hot sauce?
No, I mean,
what's that thing that people get gas problems?
I have no idea.
I think people get it from hot sauce.
Yeah, there's I don't know. There was one video I saw on YouTube where the lady like called an ambulance. Like she and I don't know if she did it for like dramatic effect. I don't know if her friend like worked at an ambulance or whatever, or dressed up as like an EMT. But I was just like, I don't think it'll be that bad.
She probably got like 1 million views.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I didn't see the view count, but I was just like, that's crazy. And so yeah, the thing with hot sauce, I love hot sauce, but that was like too much. And then all my buddies are like giving me suggestions. You should try this, try that. I'm like, no, that's way too high. And let's go. Like, I should have started lower, like 450 and whatever.
We should bring some here.
Yeah,
for us too.
Yeah,
different things. I'm a weak as fuck. Like red hot, and I'm already like, okay, I'm all set.
Really?
Yeah. I hate it.
Oh wow, dude! I love like that stuff.
I like the Taco Bell ones.
Do you like sriracha?
Oh yeah, I can handle sriracha.
Yeah. Sriracha's like ketchup to me. The other day I was like, sriracha is just like ketchup and Frank's like all put together.
Yeah,
like,
Frank's I'm almost set.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm weak.
I like need it hotter than Frank's.
I'm not a true Hispanic.
That's funny.
Everybody can eat like jalapenos.
I can eat jalapenos.
Like I can't. Like they need to be grilled, like super grilled, and then I can eat them.
Yeah.
See
they're sweeter that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing I noticed, like with like vegetables and stuff. When you like really cook them, they like get sweet, and it's like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the onions and
yeah,
it tastes amazing.
I remember when I was a kid. It was funny. Like this is like the whole machismo thing. My dad used to tell me when I was little, like if you bite into an onion, you get hair in your chest, like you become a man. And I was like,
I've never heard of that.
Oh no, I don't. It might have just been his thing. I don't know, but it was definitely like a gag to like kind of showcase in front of his friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd take the onion when I was like 5, and I was just like, and I was like, oh, like
burns.
Yeah, I remember that specifically when I was a kid. My dad used to tell me that all the time. I was like, jerk.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We have done an hour, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's nuts. That's all right.
It's an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to continue?
That's up to you. I could sit here and talk for days, dude.
Let's talk.
That's wild. It's crazy. Like
we got a restroom too. If you need to use it.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Can we take the cameras with us to the bathroom?
I won't recommend it.
We'll just take the mic. We're like, all right, yeah, I'm in the bathroom right now. But no, it's crazy. Like you think about an hour of working out, you're just like, what the fuck?
Are you exhausting?
Like, exhausted, and you're like dead. You're like whatever. An hour reading a book, your eyes get tired, and you're just like, what? But like an hour of like a good conversation, you're just like, what?
See, that's the thing I like about podcasts.
Yeah,
because I'm not used to talking to someone
right
face to face or just talking. You know? Or just drinking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's like through text or like a quick phone call. Like, I see you, and then we go to the bar, let's say, and now we get shit faced.
It's loud,
and then I'm not talking to you anymore.
Right.
I'm like worrying about like how I'm gonna get home, how much I owe this restaurant, did I pay too much?
I never thought of that.
Like you don't really have conversation.
It's it's wild because like if you were to like just go up to a stranger and have a conversation like on the bus or the train or whatever, they just like,
what are you doing?
Like, you gonna rob me or? No, I'm trying to say what's up. Like, hi, how's it going? Whatever. But
I think it's the city though.
Yeah, the city life definitely did it. That and technology too, man. I mean, it's like as much as like I love technology, I also hate it, man. It's just like, you know, the whole social media thing, you know, just kind of like it just makes a platform for people to compare their lives to others. And, you know, people only want to write good things. Right. So it's like, you know,
they're not putting in their failures.
Exactly.
I think I put a post about that.
Oh, did you?
That people not like stay in your lane, stay focused.
Yeah.
People not posting their failures. Online.
Yes. I remember now. Yep. Yeah, that's so true. It's like if I post like all like my DJ fails and stuff like that, it's like a lot of like DJ colleagues are like, "How you failed?" Like, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, people are like, "Oh, maybe I don't want to be a DJ," or you know, everyone thinks it's like, "Oh, you have such an amazing job." Like, I'm like, it's freaking great, but when it's not great, it's
when
tough.
you see that time lapse of you putting all that setup, putting on that floor and stuff, you're like, okay, he's putting work.
And it's not. I mean, that's not every DJ. It's not every DJ. Like, you know, it's because like I work for like a big production company. They do all that. You know what I mean? There's other companies will hire you just to DJ. I mean, the pay will be a little bit less.
But you're learning the whole trade.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're supposed to love the whole experience. Of,
right.
Because I can pay somebody to sit over there and do all this touching crap.
Oh yeah.
And we just talk.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's good. Now you learn.
I want to learn. Everything.
Yeah. You learn audio and stuff. So
pay somebody to edit. You know, you can pay somebody to edit your videos.
Yeah.
Or hold your camera as you're like doing things, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But if you're doing it because you're an amateur, you just learn new skills.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing, like being a stay-at-home dad right now, it's like I'm trying to learn more stuff, you know what I mean? Whether it's learning stuff with my son, you know, like, all right, we both don't know it. Let's figure it out together, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's too young to really figure things out right now, but he does it. He does pretty good.
Yeah, smart though.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Like, he realized that like the controller like controls the TV, like so he'll grab it and he'll point it to the TV. Doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what the buttons mean, but like he'll just go like this
because he's seeing you guys.
Exactly. So I'm like, that's wild. Like me and my wife are like, look at him, like he's trying to pick his cartoons, but he's just putting the volume up, like. And then
you let him use your phone or the phone. Trying to stay away from technology.
So like, man, it's so tough because I like read so many books on it and like kind of like theories behind like, you know, how kids learn and stuff, and it's definitely like anything in life, you gotta have balance. Like if you keep the kids away from like you know, computers, cell phones, we live in a time where everything's cell phone and you know, tablets and computer, you know, whatever. So it's like he'll be the weirdo. Like if I didn't let him like use the phone, he'll be the weirdo that doesn't know how to text, you know what I mean? And he'll be like, oh, he'll have a girl be like, oh, text me, and he'll be like, what's that? You know, it's like, oh shit,
that'd be
like,
crazy.
Imagine living in a world where like you tell somebody like, oh yeah, just shoot me a DM or shoot me a text message.
Email or something.
Yeah,
something so simple.
Like, well, what's that? Like, oh my God, that'd be insane. So like, I feel bad when I leave him in front of the TV with because he's a very wild boy, and that's just natural. You know what I mean? He's young, he's moving around, and that's what they do.
They got energy.
Exactly. And then sometimes like if I need to like get the dishes done or like get something done, I'll put him in front of Sesame Street for like, you know, maybe 20 minutes, nothing too crazy. The other day I had him in front of the TV for like 2 hours because like I was like cleaning out the whole house, but even he got bored of it. He was like, oh, this is boring, so he started running around, and I saw him like out of the corner of my eye run back and forth, so it was fine. I mean, it was cool. But like when I was at the doctor's the other day and he started like crying and I threw it on my phone, I was like, I remember saying like, I'll never be that parent. But like you kind of have to, you know, last case scenario, you got to like figure out like what's gonna make them happy. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah. There's no blueprint.
Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of figure it out as you go. Yeah.
Doing a good job though.
No, I appreciate it.
I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
I see it through the camera. I enjoy those videos.
You don't see the beatings behind the camera. No,
I have to, though.
No. That's one thing I told the wife. I don't want to hit our kids at all. You know, when I grew up, I never got hit. I remember my dad gave me like one really bad hit because I called him a spick. And you know what I mean? Like I've heard the word a lot, but I never knew what it meant. Like I didn't know how horrible it is to call you Spanish dad, spick. So I said
not
that.
Like 100% Spanish.
No, my mother's from Portugal and my dad's from El Salvador. Mm-hmm. So half Portuguese, half Spanish, and I remember that just bam right across the mouth, and never said anything other than today. Said it.
I got whooped all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I got like, you know,
I was too hyper. I was like, now that I'm grown, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like too much.
Yeah.
Like I would cry if I didn't get a toy. I would like.
Yeah. No, I mean I was there too, but I don't remember like aside from that one like really bad hit. I don't remember like I remember my dad like here and there like would hit my hand or whatever. But it's one of those things where I was reading. There's this book that my sister-in-law got me. It's called Boys Adrift, and it's really interesting. Just talking about how like a lot of like boys growing up, and it kind of goes into like the whole idea of like maybe kids don't really have ADD or ADHD. Maybe it's just like that's science.
The way we are, yeah.
That's the way they're programmed. Like boys are, for centuries we're supposed to be the warriors, the fighters that go out running and hunting and killing and whatever. You know what I mean? And maybe like part of that DNA still trickled into us. Not as aggressive. Sense. Like you know what I mean? Like we don't. You didn't have to see your dad hunt or anything like that. It's like so. It's like.
You learn, yeah. You fought with other kids,
right? Exactly,
because you were trying to learn how to defend yourself.
Exactly, and like fighting in like wrestling is like one of those like natural things that you and your buddies will do or whatever as kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're growing up, and then you're like, don't do that. Don't. It's like a lot of don'ts, but it's not like explain to them.
There's
time and place
and the screaming.
Yeah,
I think that's very important for kids. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because.
It's been very interesting to me because like as I get older, I realize that a lot of my tendencies, a lot of my behaviors now is from when I was a kid. And if you read books on like Carl Jung and stuff, King, Warrior, Magician, they talk about like the Oedipal child and stuff like that. A lot of it is rooted into like our childhood and why we are the way we are now. You know what I mean? So like.
It's the nurture versus nature.
Kind of thing.
Dilemma.
Yeah.
You've been reading a lot of like. Books about how to become a man and
it's interesting because like my wife's like, well, you're a freaking man. Like I was like, that's what you like. You see that,
like what I mean? Societies,
but like just in society in general, it's like even like there's a difference between a boy and a man. You know what I mean? And the rules that we grew up with are completely different than what a lot of people grow up with. Especially as like Latinos too. You know what I mean? My dad, when I was a kid, used to tell me all the time. Came to this country when I was 17 and I did all this. I worked 5 jobs and fed my family here and in El Salvador, and I'm like, I don't have to do any of that. Like I just so my dad's just like, exactly, you just have to go to school and do homework. And that like kind of like hindered me. That's like reason why like I kind of have like confident issues now, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like figuring out this stuff was like, okay, this is what not to do with my son, you know what I mean? And I know my dad didn't mean it. He didn't mean to.
He was doing his best.
Exactly. Right. The time too. Yeah. And he was brought up without a father, so he was like, trying really hard to really. So I think, me growing up with like a great dad, and like a lot of us, that are respectable guys, grew up with great dads, but there's like still like a little element that's missing. It's like, I think it was the book Iron John kind of explains how like book, I think it explains how like a lot of dads back in the day. Whether they were hunters or farmers, the sons would do that work with them or follow them and watch what they did. Then with like the whole Industrial Revolution, it's like you don't see that anymore. Like,
your dad's never home. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You don't see that connection with them. And I remember like being a little kid, my dad would take me to the factory he worked in and it was like, he'd sit me somewhere and be like, don't touch anything or else your fingers are gone. I'm like, oh. Okay.
So you got scared.
Yeah, because like, I saw like the machines moving. So I'm like, all right, yeah, don't touch nothing, so... but it was interesting to see. Like I got to see what he did. I knew what he did. You know what I mean? And like Iron John kind of talks about how like kids these days don't see what their dads did or don't know what they do. You know what I mean? So it's like they have kind of like the conflicts of like, we don't see what the government does, but we just think they're shady. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether they are or not, we have always the shady mentality that they're just doing nothing but shady stuff. So like us as men kind of have that mentality. If we don't see what our dads did, like maybe they're doing something shady. Even though we don't really...
we think that they're not the hero anymore.
Exactly.
We think they're the... So anything bad that happens to us is because of them not being... So just at the end of the day, it's a blame game.
Almost. Yeah.
But it makes sense for if you're a father to bring your kid to your work.
Yeah.
Because they need to learn a trade. Usually, your last name was associated with what you did.
Right.
So if you were a cook, like in English,
last name would be
cooks. So
yeah.
So that's how we develop.
Right.
That's the way humans just evolve to who we are now.
Agreed.
But when you separate that, now there's a separation.
Yeah.
You're like lost in this weird
Yeah, definitely.
And the rituals, not having rituals with the shaman.
Yeah, so that's big. Whenever I read stuff about like ritual and stuff, I'm like, that, like, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, I feel like my ritual used to be like, all right, I would go all the time with my dad and his friends out fishing. You know, they'd be drinking, they'd tell stories, and like, it was kind of like, but there wasn't like, I guess the sacred place would be the ocean. You know what I mean? You go out there and you kind of do, and you learn patience, you learn different things. You know what I mean? And so it's like, as I'm reading these books, I'm like, wow, like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? It's such an interesting concept. Like, you don't think about it as your life goes, but now you sit down and kind of reflect. You're like, oh, okay, like, I could see that being an issue. You know?
Yeah. I got it through sports, my rituals.
Okay, yeah.
So when I was little, my dad would bring him to soccer games, like tournaments.
Yeah.
And then when you won, and you saw your dad's expression of you winning.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, something happened here. Like, as a kid, you don't understand. Yeah. But now that I think about it, I was like, I think I graduated to something else.
Right, yeah.
And then because, you know, school's supposed to be the ritual, they do the whole ceremony.
Yep.
For when you graduate middle school, whatever, to high school. That's supposed to be your the ritual, the ceremony of you becoming a man or becoming a professional or whatever.
Yep.
But it's not the same because we so, I don't want to say gang, but so like small group.
Oh yeah.
So if your surroundings, your small surroundings, is not proud of you, for what you did, it's like, okay, it's kind of a wash,
right?
Because my parents don't know what it means to graduate college.
Exactly, right.
So for them, oh, you graduated college, okay, you're gonna go to work now. What are you doing?
Right, yeah. It's totally different.
So you feel like, oh, like a letdown almost.
Right.
So your confidence is not there.
Yeah.
But when I won like a soccer game, and my dad was like screaming, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I didn't have that with like my dad. My dad like was like nervous for me to do sports. Like, so I did a little bit of soccer. I wasn't too crazy about it. I was always the chubby kid, like hated running, you know. And then I remember I was like, oh, I want to play football. Like all the guys are big, like, you know, American football. And I was, you know, as a kid, I grew up in Everett, and it was a huge, you know, it's a huge football
Everett
city.
is like D1, no?
Yeah, it's like you have to be a football player to be cool in Everett. You know what I mean? Like that was my mentality as a kid. And a lot of the girls I liked were cheerleaders, so I was like, all right, I gotta be. This was like my mentality in 5th grade. And my dad was like, all right, like, let's see what we have to do. And then one, it's like a lot of money. You know what I mean? My dad working 2 jobs just to like get the bills set or whatever. 2, they wanted me to play with like older kids because of my weight. So my dad was like, oh, like I don't want you to get hurt, like, you know what I mean? So like
football is
yeah. So like, you know, not only the money, but like he was like, oh, he's like, you're gonna be playing with like older kids, like I really don't want you to get hurt, like, you know. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he bought me a guitar, and then was a guitar player. So and that was and then the thing is, it's like my dad, you know, my dad liked to drink his beers at night with his friends, whatever, and they'd come over the house, and we were just listening to music. So that was like always like our kind of, I guess that was somewhat of a ritual too. Just kind of sit there and listen to music and hang out. You know what I mean? Right. When I think of like rituals, I think of just like a bunch of like guys together and just kind of sharing stories, experiences, and you know, and having food, alcohol, kind of thing. You know, so
I mean, alcohol helps.
Oh yeah.
I think my biggest friendships, the people that I'm like friends.
Yeah.
I started with alcohol.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it, spirits.
Yeah.
Because like your true self comes out.
Right. No,
and then you just
you let down that wall. Yeah. You let down that wall and just like, hey, what's up? You know, I've for me, I think it's been the opposite. Like I've gotten like wicked shit faced and made friends with like people that I'm just
bad
like
people almost.
Yeah, almost like bad people. Like not that I like hang out with them on the regular, but I'm like, damn, we hung out when I was like, you know, I'd have like junkies come up to me and be like, oh, remember me? Like I'm like, no, I don't remember. We were at that party. I'm like, no, how the hell do you remember that? And I don't like. So, but no, like a lot of my close friends, you know, when we get drunk, it's like a good time. So I just, yeah, I mean, I haven't been drunk in a while. I think last time I really got drunk was DJ convention. Just got freaking hammered. That was bad.
You're pretty lightweight now, I guess.
I think I am, yeah. Like I'm getting drunk off these, and it's like
zero alcohol.
Just the taste, I'm like, oh man.
You feel it, yeah.
But no, it's great. Yeah. So yeah, man.
It's important though.
The ritual?
Yeah, the rituals.
I think it is.
And just being surrounded by men only.
Yes, good men. You know.
Yeah, I mean? Yeah.
It's easy to see other men and be like, all right. As a teenager, it's like, I don't know. Like, I guess the cool men that I kind of like looked at was like the dudes from Jersey Shore. I'm like, oh, those guys are cool.
Oh,
but that's so toxic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
That's not even.
Right. It's like not even a man. It's like, but I thought they were so cool because they're always partying and like worse than boys, like babies. Yeah. It's the worst. And I realized that real quick. And it's not like I strive to be like them. You know what I mean? Right. I just thought they were cool, and that's kind of like the scene that I kind of wanted to associate with. I guess I don't know. Like, but now it's like I think like this whole mentality came when I realized I'm having a son. And I'm like, well, you
have to think about.
Yeah, it's like I'm not the kind of went through like a depression stage where it was just like, I'm not the typical man that's going to be wielding an axe in the woods, or the typical man that's like construction worker. You know what I mean? I'm going to be at home, my son cooking, cleaning. You know what I mean? So it's like what is it? What does it mean to be a man? To you know what I mean?
Compare yourself with those type of people.
Yeah, and it's like. Just kind of like the search for manhood, I guess. It's one thing to have the tools in between your legs or whatever, and then having the facial hair and the big build or whatever, but it's like, what does it really mean to be a good man? You know what I mean? To be
your actions.
Exactly right. There was a quote, I forget where it was from, but it was saying like how like we admire like people in mob movies and gangsters not because they weren't good men, but they were good at being men. They were
pretending
good at, exactly. Like they did work. A lot of them did it for like a purpose. You know what I mean? Whether it was,
I think that's the big one, the purpose one. Mm-hmm. When I went to Taj Mahal,
that must have been awesome.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
That was like summer, right? Like recent.
That was March last year.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing your posts. You going to India.
When you know the story of why it was built, you understand.
Was it something? It was like supposed to be for like a princess, or
it was the guy built it because he wanted to
show his love.
Show his love to this building, and I think a lot of men do that. Right. They build gardens, they build just statues, and a bunch of the stuff that you see getting built, like beautiful art and stuff, is usually for a woman. Yeah, because they want to show their love through a purpose or something that is going to stand out.
Right. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Never thought of that. Like
everything that men usually build. Yeah. Is for a woman, like buildings, houses. Huh. Yeah. We don't need it. We don't care.
Right. Yeah.
We want it because we want something, a woman to accept it.
Right. That it's funny you brought up that point because there was a segment in the book Boys Adrift that kind of talked about that. Something similar. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it definitely kind of triggered the little bit that I read on it. But yeah, no, that's such a nice place too. Like every time I see pictures of it, I'm like, damn, like it'd be nice to like go check it out. Oh,
I recommend it 100%. Yeah.
What else did you do there? Like you saw Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal. We went to this palace where there's prince. Yeah. Prince. What do you call the other one? Princess. Yeah. Used to. They still live there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we stayed there for a night, and then.
Is it Taj Mahal that has all the monkeys, or is that like something different? Like a crazy amount of monkeys running around.
I didn't see. There's monkeys. Yeah. But I didn't see monkeys inside. No. Yeah. But we just went to like a bunch of like ruins. Right. And then museums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just went to the tourist places.
Right. Okay.
It's the first time we go.
Right.
To India. But yeah, it was eye opening when I saw the Taj Mahal. Yeah. Like you see it on pictures. Yeah. You see it in movies. Mm-hmm. But when you're there, it's like, holy, this really exists. Yeah. It's like Vegas too. Oh yeah. You've been to Vegas?
So that was like before the DJ convention. It was like 2 weeks before it. Was kind of like me and my buddies like last hurrah. Like it was like kind of like a last minute trip. Like they were like, we're going to Vegas, and I didn't get to see a lot, but like the amount of like stuff that I like saw there, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like the strip and everything, and then and I just got hammered. Just
of course, it's Vegas.
It was the first time I had edibles, and I was just like, oh
edibles.
Yeah. It was funny because like my other buddy, he's never like smoked at all, like never like been near me. He just went right into it. Yeah, like I've smoked it before. Yeah, he just went right into like that was his first like marijuana.
No.
Like, yeah. And so they got there the night before I did because I had an event that night. But they got there the night before I did, and that was when they first had it was like a Rice Krispie treat. And, they took the recommended amount. They were like, I don't feel it or whatever.
Yeah, you need to wait.
They didn't wait, and they just went right into like another like little bit of it or whatever. And so when I got there, they're like, all right, we got so fucked up the night before or whatever. Like, this is the amount we did. I was like, I'm going to do half of that because I want to be drinking too. So
did have that. Buy both?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So
you didn't pop any fuses, bro?
Nah, I mean, I always tell people that I almost died there, but it wasn't like that. It was cool. We went to like a pool party, and I'm like focusing on like not dying in the pool. I'm just like chilling. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is awesome. And then we got hammered there with these big ass drinks. And then after that, we went shooting. Went to like a shooting range, and then we spent like
high.
Huh?
You went.
So I sobered up real quick as soon as I heard the guns.
Oh, okay.
Like we got there, and I'm like, guys, I don't know, like if I can like shoot a gun right now. Like I'm not like.
You heard that pop.
I heard pop, 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 and I was like, oh, sign me up. Let's do this. Let's do it. And then, so after that, we went to like a strip club, and we spent like, I don't know, like it was like 4 or 5 hours we spent in that club, like just sitting down, just drinking. Like we didn't. Some of my friends got lap dances, but I was just like. Just watching chilling,
girls, just watching the girls.
Yeah, just watching them hustle, dude. It's so funny to watch them hustle, and like having them come up to you and hustle. It's pretty.
You let it rain?
No, I didn't. No, I had I had a budget when I went there, and I blew it like in the first day. I was there for like 3 days, 2.5 days.
Can't have a budget.
No. Vegas. You
have to ball out.
You gotta ball out. You gotta have a credit card ready to just
I know people leave everything.
Pay it after. It's so bad. So. Vegas is one of those spots where you just got to go with your friends and not really with family.
And you go for 3 days. Don't go more than 3
max. Like I think even 2 days you're good, but 3 days. I think 2 days of wildness, and then that third day you need to relax there.
You
a little
go
bit.
Back, you come home.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it'll consume you, man. It'll.
Literally everything. Your body, your finance.
Yeah.
Your soul, it would take it.
Yeah. So after that summer, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a dad. Like, I need to, like, simmer down. Like, I can't be going freaking crazy. Because, like, if I got shit-faced and, like, got into a fight and, like, died or something or got arrested, how am I going to explain to my son?
Easy to get arrested.
Yeah. Oh, easy. So, 2 weeks after that, I went to the DJ convention. And that just gets crazy. You just got a bunch of DJs. We're working every weekend, so it's like when you get all of us together. These are DJs from like New York, Jersey, Florida.
It's a good networking.
Yeah, it's really. I've met like so many good people there. It's awesome, but also like just reckless DJs getting drunk and like having a good time. All the hottest DJs are in the area, so some of them will be DJing at different clubs. So you just go in and out of clubs and guest lists and bottles, and you just. That's it.
Yeah, that's the life there.
So it's like it's a Monday through Wednesday event. Typically in Atlantic City.
Yeah, that's what it is. 3 days, man.
Yeah. So Monday, usually like when I've gone in the past, I've paced myself. You know what I mean? First day is like fine. Like I kind of a few drinks, nothing too crazy. This time when I went, I just went all out. And then the second day, I was like, I'm not drinking. And then my buddies got the best of me, and I was like, all right, I'll have
bottles.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Edibles.
No. Second day, it was just like a few drinks, and then the third day, I was like, yo, I'm definitely not drinking. Like this is zero. I don't care. Like I'm not. No, it's it. And then after that, I just haven't had a drink since. Well, since then, I've had 3 drinks.
Total.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's been about a year.
Over. It's been like 17, 18 months almost.
How do you feel though compared to? Were you a regular drinker before? Or?
No, it was more like just when I went out partying with my friends and stuff. But it was just like more of like a personal thing. I was like, I'm gonna see if I could like go out with my friends without drinking. We pay X amount of dollars to get our bodies destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you hurt the next day, and it's like.
I mean, if you're binge drinking, yeah.
Yeah. So when I went out drinking, Like the purpose was to get hammered. So it's just like, all right, I'm going to be a dad. I can't be doing this. You know what I mean? I can't, maybe once in a while, but like I can't drink to the point where I'm going nuts, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a fighter or anything when I'm drunk. I'm definitely like a lover, lovey-dovey, love my friends, you know.
Go hugging
random ass people. We're hugging bouncers. But just
I can see it already, man.
Yeah. Just all good vibes, you know what I mean? And but you know, you hug the wrong person, you're getting clucked.
Yo, what's up?
The boom. So but yeah, man.
I mean, are you able to control, like, let's say you have like a nice whiskey, just one at home, and then go to bed? Or you like, you know, some people. See,
that's depressing to me. I can't do that.
You can't have like a drink.
No, I feel like that's sad. Down. Yeah, that's sad to me. Like, I don't know. Like, no, like I'm not judging anybody that does it, but like I feel like for me personally, like I have to have friends to drink with and kind of chill out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For me, winding down, like I throw on a lot of like jazz music.
Just relax.
Kind of like Indian tantric music. And just relax, just chill there. You know, sometimes I'll be reading my book with that music in the background, my son running around, and it's so chill for me, you know. So that's my new thing. But I did pick up a bad habit of eating horrible stuff, like nuggets and like just awful stuff.
Junk food.
Yeah. I used to like not eat as much junk food, but now it's like it's crazy.
Do you buy it and just keep it at home, or
no?
Something you pick up at?
Like I said, me and my wife, when we go food shopping, it's like we buy like healthy. Just honestly, we just get like fruits, veggies, and meats. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, we might buy like rice, pasta, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But honestly, we eat a lot of fruits and veggies. But at the end of the day, like my wife would be like, "Oh, I'm tired, but I really want some like cookies or something." I'm like, "All right," or she'll tell me like in advance, like, "Can you pick up some cookies for later tonight?" I'm like, "All right, cool." Like but now, like today, we went shopping a little bit, and I was like, "All right, no more junk food, like ever. Like if you want junk food, you really have to go out of the way and be like, all right, I'm gonna drive to the store and get something." You know what I mean? And at that point, it's kind of like, you know, like you really need a cookie that bad to go. You know what I mean? She's pregnant, so she's, you know,
she's gonna ask you for stuff.
She'll do whatever she wants, she needs to do. But for me, it's like, you know, do I really want to leave the house to go get freaking snacks or whatever?
That's the way to go.
I mean, my thing is, I'm not crazy about snacks. I love fried food. Like I love fried chicken, love mozzarella sticks, French fries. I love like 1 pound burgers, just like, you know, anything that's like heavy with meat. You know, I love Brazilian barbecues. You know, like you go to like the churrasco or whatever. Just come out with the meats. I
never liked it, but
really?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh man.
I don't have the taste for it.
Really?
No.
What do you eat? What do you like eating?
I like steaks.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But you never like into like Brazilian steakhouses?
I've been to. I went to the one in Boston.
The Fogo de Chão?
Yeah. I think the price kind of like made me feel like, you know what? I don't like this.
That's wild. I know.
I like a lot of sushi.
Really?
Like raw fish and stuff like.
Do you eat a lot?
I eat it like once a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I make it home sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I buy the tuna. I cook it a little bit. Yeah.
Sear it a little bit.
Like sear it. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's still rare inside.
Yeah, like I said, man, I like fish. I just don't really know how to cook it, and I like sushi, but I don't like go out of my way for it. I'm not like crazy about it. You know, if you were like, "Oh, let's go grab some sushi," I'm like, "All right, cool. Like that sounds good right now." You know, I hate wasabi. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah, the spicy.
Yeah.
It just cleans the palate.
No, I'm also wasabi.
You all set with that?
Yeah, but no, I do like sushi, and so the thing with me with seafood is I'm allergic to shrimp, or supposedly I'm allergic to shrimp. Reason why I say that is because I recently had shrimp accidentally, and
you were fine.
I was fine. So I talked to my doctor recently about getting an allergy test, so I should be getting that probably sometime in the next week. And if I'm not allergic to shrimp, I am going to all the seafood festivals. I'm eating all the shrimp.
Shrimp is so good.
I love shrimp, dude. I used to eat it when I was a kid, and then out of nowhere, I got allergic to it, and I was just like, damn.
Was it like your throat closing, or you tingling?
So the first few times, I tried it like twice, and then I was just like getting hives, itchy, and then one time, like my throat felt like it was like closing, like I was like having a hard time breathing. So I just downed like a lot of Benadryl, and like was fine, like after a few hours or whatever. So it was like really scary. Mm-hmm. So after that, I never like went to the doctors and got like checked. Like I was
maybe you kick it off already.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like the way they cook the shrimp, maybe something that they put in like the shrimp, a spice or something. I don't know. I really don't know. It just kind of. So I just my whole life was just like I'm allergic to shrimp, can't have it. But it's weird because I've had like crab, I've had lobster, I've had scallops, and those are all considered
oysters.
Oysters,
like bottom feeders.
Yeah, and it's all it's all shellfish. So it's like it's not a shellfish allergy. Maybe it's a shrimp allergy, but I don't know. So
could be the type of shrimp.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that checked out, and if I'm not, I'm gonna go to town. Yeah.
So you can't eat like Chinese? I mean, you can eat like
Chinese. Yeah, Chinese. I eat Chinese food.
Like Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah, I just gotta be really careful that it doesn't have like any type of seafood. I just get scared. The smell of it kind of reminds me of shrimp.
Sometimes like the fish oil.
Like fish or yeah. So yeah, so like fish oils and stuff like that. So like the way that recently when I had shrimp, I saw this pile of like cheesy bread, and I was like, oh, it looks good. I just grabbed it, and I took a bite of it, and I'm like, this tastes kind of fishy. And I took another bite, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely there's some type of fish in there. And I asked my buddy, I was like, yo, like what's like is there shrimp in this thing? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what? Like,
I'm allergic.
Yeah, like
so it was.
I should have asked before I bit into. Yeah, it was like I don't know what it was. My buddy's friend made it. And basically, there was like shrimp, and there was like a bunch of cheese over it, so I couldn't see any of the shrimp.
That's weird.
It's a weird thing, but it's so delicious, dude.
Never had shrimp.
Dude,
with cheese,
so good. And dude, anything with cheese is good. Come on.
Yeah, I guess I never had it.
Yeah, but it looked like garlic bread. Like it looked so damn good. So I just jumped right in, took a bite. I should have freaking asked, but who freaking tucks shrimp under cheese and hides that?
That was weird.
So, and so the wife is like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." She's like, and she just kept checking on me every few minutes. I'm like, I think I'm fine, but in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like
you're playing your mind game.
So yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, once I find out I'm not allergic to it, I'm gonna go to town, like eat like a 5-pound bag of shrimp, just go nuts. But yeah,
just take it slow. I recommend.
Oh yeah.
Don't go 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Shrimp has a lot of cholesterol.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. This whole podcast is dope, man. Yeah.
You're always welcome to come back, man.
I'm always down.
It's not one.
It's funny because I've wanted to like start a podcast, but I'm just like
it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
but once
especially
you
like make a quality one too. It's
yeah,
like, you know what I mean. And like you can see like all the stuff here. It's like you definitely did your homework on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got help. It's not like
yeah.
I'm a genius on this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You got any plugs you want to throw out there? People to follow you.
Yeah, I mean,
his YouTube, amazing.
YouTube channel, DJ Anthony Alvarez. A lot of gig logs and videos of me just mixing music sometimes, equipment reviews. Instagram, DJ Anthony Alvarez, and Facebook, Anthony Alvarez. It's all pretty much the same across the board. Posting my events and stuff like that. 22nd, I'm at Mix 360 in Malden. It's a club.
Next weekend?
It's a Friday, so not next weekend, the weekend after.
Check it out.
So if you guys are around, you want to come to have a good time, mix of different music, hip-hop, reggae, reggaeton, everything.
Anthony's a pro. I seen him with my own eyes. Behind stage.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Behind stage, right? Yeah.
In the booth. Yeah, in the DJ booth.
It's amazing to watch.
Appreciate it, man.
Glad you came.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Finally did it.
This beers are great, dude. Thanks for the beer. The beer's awesome.
Non-alcoholic. Henneken, you know where to find me.
Yeah, man.
But see ya, man.